and paper, please. All right, write this down. You have 20 work days left this year. 20. 20 work days left. So the question I wanted to ask, the question that's begging to be asked, is are you where you want to be right now? Yes or no?
No.
What?
No.
No. All right, all right. Question number 2. Are you where you should be at this time of the year? Yes or no?
No.
No. Some of you, yes. Few of you, yes. Some of you, no. Okay? Here's the next question. In 2011, in the first 11 months, could you have done more than you have done throughout the year this year? Could you have done more? If you had done more, would you have more? I wrote down here, could you have worked more days than you did? Could you have made more calls than you did daily? And could you have seen more homes than you actually had seen? If you could do that, and everyone out here is shaking their head yes, then I wrote down here, then why didn't you? Why didn't you do those activities? Here's the question. Are you independently wealthy? So write down yes or no. No, seriously. I am independently wealthy. Yes or no? Okay? No, don't tell me, just write it down. All right? Did you have an illness that prevented you from doing those activities? Was there something wrong with you where you couldn't get in your car and drive over and preview some houses? Was there any kind of an illness that prevented this? Then I wrote down the last question is, what would your life be like if you had done all those things that we had talked about earlier? If you had previewed all the properties that you could preview? If you had door knocked all the homes that you could door knock? If you had prospected the number of hours that you could have prospected? How would that have changed your life? So here's a question. Would you consider yourself a hard worker? Would you consider yourself a hard worker? It's an easy question. By your definition, you would consider yourself a hard worker. Here's another question. Would your friends describe you as a hard worker? Would your friends describe you as a hard worker? Would you be known in the real estate business as a hard-working real estate agent? You're in the real estate business. You get up, you go to work every day. Would your friends in the real estate business consider you a hard worker? Or would you be just known as just another agent? Would you be known as a average agent? What do average agents generally do? What do average agents generally do? Do they show up on time generally? No, that's an average agent, right? Okay? Do they preview property on a regular basis? Yes or no? No. When they say they're going to prospect 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, do they generally do what they say they're going to do? Yes or no? Are you an average real estate agent? Or are you a superstar real estate agent? And let me ask the question again. You say, and a lot of you said this, a lot of you said you were hard workers. And I'm not here to dispute that. Okay? But I would ask a question. The question is, What do you what do you think your client expects from you as a real estate agent? What do you think they expect? Give me some ideas. They expect you to deliver, okay, sell the house. Be on time. What else?
Honesty.
They expect some honesty. Sure, what else?
Know your marketplace.
They expect you to know your marketplace. Okay, good. What else?
Price.
Great customer service as defined by how?
Have their best interest at heart.
Have their best interest in heart. Okay.
Work hard.
Work hard. Okay. So here's a question. Why would a seller or buyer hire you? Why? Get into this question. Why would a buyer or seller hire you to list their house or sell them a piece of property? What is your unique proposition? What makes you special? What makes you different from your competition? You need to answer this question. You need to take some time to be able to answer it. The question is, the buyer or seller would hire me because. The buyer or the seller would hire me because. The buyer or seller would hire me because. Here's some ideas. They might hire you because of your vast market knowledge. You know what's going on in the marketplace because you preview hundreds of houses every single month. You do that, right? Say yes.
Yes.
No, you don't. No. Your noses are growing. Well, okay, so if they'll hire you for your vast market knowledge and you don't preview property on a regular basis, would they really hire you for your vast market knowledge? Probably not, huh? All right, so would they hire you because you're a hard worker? What's the definition of hard work? What's a hard-working real estate agent?
Someone that shows up and does whatever they need to do to be
Shows up, does what they're supposed to do, okay.
helping people.
Okay, good at helping people. What else?
Someone that gets our home sold.
Someone that gets their home sold, all right. But if I find a buyer, if I have a buyer and I get the home sold in a minute, which happens sometimes, right? Am I hardworking? Am I considered hardworking? See, I got to get you to understand what we're talking about in hardworking. What is really the definition of hardworking? The fact that you spend hours at the office, is that hardworking?
No.
Someone's on top of their game 24/7.
Someone who's on top of their game 24/7. Okay, a hardworking agent or person could be considered on top, would be considered on top of their game if they did that 24/7. Do we do that? Do you do that? I'm going back to the question. The buyer or seller would hire me because. The buyer or seller is going to hire me because. You've got to be able to answer this question. This is where it's at. When you can answer this question and communicate it at the highest level, then you have an opportunity to be what we call a legend agent. Not a great agent, not an exceptional agent, but a legend agent. Somebody that's really looked up to. Somebody that's well respected in the marketplace. Legend agents don't happen overnight. They take a while. But you have an opportunity right now. We have 20 days left in this year. 20 days left in 2011. What if you did what you were supposed to do for those 20 days? I wrote down here, if great performance were easy, it wouldn't be rare. Legend agents are great performers, but they're rare, aren't they? They're very rare. I wrote down people who never made it are people that tried and failed and never try again. Think about what I just said. People who never made it are people who tried, failed, and never try again. Sounds like going after for sale by owners. Well, I did that once. How'd it go? Well, they didn't list with me. Well, did you try it again? No. Well, when was that? 14 years ago. Don't you think maybe you could try it again? Just think about it. I wrote down here, people who are mediocre are because they found something that works and never try anything else. People who are mediocre find something that works, but then never try anything else to grow from that. And then I wrote down here, people who are successful are that way because despite their past failures, they keep trying until they find something that works really well. And then they keep modifying it, keep looking for changes, keep working on getting better. So the question comes back to, no one wants to be considered an average agent, yet an average agent is somebody who doesn't show up on time, someone that doesn't preview property on a regular basis, doesn't practice their scripts, dialogues on a regular basis. That's just like everybody else. Everybody does that. The exceptional agents work on their skills all the time. The exceptional agents are previewing property on a regular basis. You have 20 days left in 2011, 20 work days. You can do anything for 20 days. You can do anything for 20 days. Let's work on doing some of the things that we talk about here for the next 20 days. In those 20 work days, there are transactions that can be done. I'm convinced you can run through the finish line and do all that you're supposed to do between now and the end of the year. Don't take your eyes off of the goal of putting another deal or 2 or 3 into escrow, of which maybe 1 or 2 of them will close before the end of the year. And then you might have a little bit better holiday season for you and your family. It's just a little bit more. 20 work days. Don't worry about what you didn't do for the last 220 work days, okay? Forget about that. By the way, there was 240 work days this year. We have 20 left. Don't worry if you did or you didn't work all 220 days. Let's just worry about what you're going to do for the next 20 work days. What focus, what commitment, what activities are you going to commit to over the next 20 work days? I wrote down here, today matters. What you do today, what you will do right now, matters more than anything else for the next 20 days. And the next 20 days sets the foundation for your first quarter. For the first quarter of 2012, ladies and gentlemen, time is flying by. Who besides me can remember sitting around New Year's Eve on the millennium change, Y2K, 2000? That was 11, 12 years ago. It was 11 New Year's Eves ago. And it just seems like yesterday, doesn't it? 2012 is right around the corner. We have opportunity is right in front of us. The next 20 days. Today matters. What you will do today will matter on how those next 20 days are going to be rolling out for you. Now let's go out and make these the best 20 work days you've ever done. Thank you.